Imane Khalif, the boxer from Algeria, is going to court against Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling for basically inciting cyberbullying and hate against her. Now, you might remember that Imane Khalif was the Algerian boxer who won after 46 seconds in the Olympics after her opponent, Angela Carini, who from Italy, quit because she thought that Imane Khalif was actually a male. And the reason for this was because Imane Khalif has XY chromosomes, which would state or indicate that she could potentially be a male. But it was since found that she had higher levels of testosterone than most other women, which means that she got an XY chromosome as opposed to XX, which is what women would typically have. So the Algerian boxer did win within 46 seconds at the Paris Olympics. You might remember it, but here's a little recap in case. Reason for Carini calling the fight off and stating that she didn't want to do it was because she had this preconceived idea that Imane Khalif was actually a male after she was kicked out of the boxing world championships the year prior for having male chromosomes, or, well, indicators that she had male chromosomes because of this high level of testosterone. And then when she got hit, she said it was much harder than she'd ever been hit before, which then basically affirmed the idea that she thought she was fighting a male. So she called the fight off early. And that's kind of, it took the boxing world and, well, the world by storm. And obviously over on, well, there have been multiple people who have actually really kind of gone into depth about the entire situation. Just like this post that I'm going to show you here, which talks about it very, very well.
People are very upset that this individual beat this woman in Olympic boxing today. This is the winner, Imane Khalif, who was previously disqualified from the World Championships for failing to meet gender eligibility tests. You know what I mean? This is the match between the both of them. It only lasted about 45 seconds before the woman quit with a broken nose. Shortly before the fight, the International Boxing Association had actually issued a statement questioning why the Olympics were allowing not one but two athletes who had failed the gender eligibility test to compete. Notably, South Park had already predicted that this would happen because they're geniuses. This guy whose name I can't mention on TikTok, but it rhymes with paint, said, "Girl, boss your way out of this one." Logan Paul also spoke out saying, "This is the purest form of evil unfolding right before your eyes." Low IQ failed boxing promoter iDubbbz' wife threw in her 2 cents. Anyway, whose side are you on? Tell me in the comments.
So there you go. There's a bit of insight into what happened and a couple of people that spoke out about the entire situation. Now, obviously, Logan Paul was one of the people that was in there. We've also got other people like the people that have been mentioned within the lawsuit. But the first person was Logan Paul, who basically doubled back on himself and put up a brand new post which says, "Oopsies, I might be guilty of spreading misinformation alongside the entirety of this app. Although she's been previously disqualified for failing a gender test and has XY chromosomes, some sources say Imane Khalif was born a biological woman. I stand by my sentiment that biological men should not compete against biological women in any sport, and if you disagree, you're a sick F." And then, why was Imane Khalif disqualified from the World Championships? Imane Khalif was disqualified because of the gender eligibility test revealed XY chromosomes, leading to concerns about the compliance with the female category standards. This did get community noted, saying that IBA never officially disclosed what caused the disqualification, let alone that these boxers have XY chromosomes. Any statement trying to prove it was one specific thing is purely speculation. The IBA's official statement, both boxers were referred to as females. And then his brother, Jake Paul, after End Wokeness posted this, Jake Paul responded by saying, "This is sickening, this is a travesty, doesn't matter what you believe, this is wrong and dangerous," and then showing the video of Imane Khalif having her arm put up for winning the fight, and then Italy's fighter Carini breaking down and refusing to shake her hand. Again, just one of those things. And then moving forwards, the two people, I'm going to show the two posts from the two people that are now part of the lawsuit. J.K. Rowling was the first one. Now, J.K. Rowling is very outspoken about a lot of topics. Obviously, she's always finding herself in hot water around the transgender stuff and, you know, LGBTQ stuff. And she said, "Could any picture sum up a new men's right movement better? The smirk of a male who knows he's protected by a misogynist sporting establishment, enjoying the distress of a woman he's just punched in the head and whose life's ambitions he's just shattered," sharing this post right here. And then moving forward as well, Elon Musk tweeted about this, stating, Justin, Donald Trump says that he will ban biological males from competing in women's sports. Elon Musk stating, good. So that's kind of what went on. That was a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, at the time of recording, the internet did kind of move on from the situation. But Imane Khalif did not. And J.K. Rowling also doubled down on these posts. So someone said Imane Khalif should sue every single account and outlet saying that she's trans. Arseholes putting her life at risk. It is illegal in her country to be trans. The continuance of the blame trans lie community continues unfettered on Twitter. J.K. Rowling said, the idea that those objecting to male punching a female in the name of sport are objecting because they believe Khalif to be trans is a joke. We object because we saw a male punching a female. So yeah. And by the way, she got cooked in her post. She really, really got cooked. And JK, you really flip-flopped in the last 6 months, and this was a post from 6 months ago saying, you've asked me several questions about accused of avoiding answers, so here it goes. Class and procedures large, and basically just a post about flip-flopping. It's just absolutely insane. But the lawsuit has come out yesterday at the time of recording. And J.K. Rowling and Musk are reportedly named in Khalif's cyberbullying lawsuit. This is from the BBC, so you know it's somewhat reputable source. But this is kind of made world news anyway. So it says, boxer Imane Khalif has filed a lawsuit over the alleged cyberbullying during the Paris 2024 Olympics, which reportedly named both author J.K. Rowling and ex-owner Elon Musk. The Algerian boxer won gold in Paris despite being disqualified from last year's World Championships by the International Boxing Association, the IBA, after she was reported to allegedly fail a gender eligibility test in 2023. However, the International Olympic Committee strongly defended Khalif's right to compete under and ruled her to be eligible. Her lawyer, Nabil Boudi, told Variety on Tuesday that Musk and Rowling would be named in the lawsuit following comments that they made on social media. Khalif's participation was widely discussed online after the Italian boxer Angela Carini abandoned her Olympic bout against her after 46 seconds. Paris Public Prosecutor's Office told the agency AFP on Wednesday that they had launched a cyberbullying probe following the complaints by Khalif. However, a prominent French legal blogger who wrote on X that it was unlikely that Mr. Musk or Ms. Rowling would face prosecution, as French penal law doesn't apply to acts committed outside of France against foreign nationals. But prosecutors could press charges against those who sent the messages on French soil. Khalif, along with Taiwan's Lin Yuting, was cleared to compete in the women's boxing in Paris, and having been disqualified from last year's Women's World Championships for failing to meet eligibility criteria. But the IOC, the Olympic Committee, took a very different view, strongly defending the two boxers. This is a question of justice. Women must be allowed to take part in women's competitions, and the two are women, IOC President Thomas Bach said. Ex-CEO Mr. Musk and Harry Potter author Miss Rowling both posted comments about the boxer, with Miss Rowling saying Khalif was enjoying the distress of a woman she's just punched in the head following with a fight with Carini, and Mr. Musk shared a post from the swimmer Riley Gaines which said, "Men don't belong in women's sports." BBC News has contacted representatives of Mr. Musk and Miss Rowling for comment following their win. Khalif said attacks over her gender eligibility gave her victory against Chinese champion Yang Lu a special taste after she won Olympic women's boxing gold a year after being disqualified from the women's championships. I am fully qualified to take part in this competition, the 25-year-old Khalif. I am a woman like any other woman. I was born a woman, I have lived as a woman, I competed as a woman, there is no doubt about that. A day after abandoning her own fight with Khalif, Carini said she wanted to apologise to her opponent for how she handled the moments afterwards when she declined to shake hands with Khalif. Yang also said it was due to face Khalif in the final of last year's World Championships. a title Yang went on to win, but Khalif was disqualified by the International Boxing Association before they met. The IBA said that Khalif and Lin failed to meet eligibility for the criteria of participating in women's competition and set and laid in the IBA regulations. The IOC allowed them to compete and raised doubts about the tests and strongly criticised the IBA. A chaotic news conference held subsequently by the IBA did little to clear the confusion around Khalif and Lin's bans. So this is basically where we're at with it. The whole situation was very poorly handled because it was all very speculative. And because of lack of details from practically anyone about whether these two were genuinely women or whether they were transgender males turned females, just added fuel to the fire. But it was then, released that her passport was stated she was female. She was born a female with female genitalia, so therefore she is absolutely a female, but she's just got elevated levels of testosterone, which does mean that she is not at all a male, but she's got the chromosomes or the indicators of chromosomes to be male, even though she's a female, if that makes sense. And it's something that tends to happen to people. It's not an uncommon thing. But Algeria boxer Imane Khalif names J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk in cyberbullying suit. Here are a few more details.
Well, Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling, they're now both named in a criminal complaint over accusations of cyberbullying. This was filed on behalf of the Algerian boxer and new Olympic champion Imane Khalif.
All of that, according to a new report from Variety. In fact, in a statement to the magazine, the Paris prosecutor's office confirmed it's investigating allegations of cyber harassment and discrimination. The Olympian faced a lot of scrutiny and abuse during the games based on her gender. NBC News legal analyst Angela Sinadella joins us now. Angela, I remember when this story was first bubbling up, and I mean, it was just so hard to read, hard to watch. Some people were accusing her of being a man, which she is not. She is a woman. She does not identify as transgender. Given all the comments and the misinformation that was posted on social media, how strong is her case?
So look, the strength of her case here really depends on French law. So we have to look at French precedent and how France in general has handled these cases. Now, in terms of the allegations that she is really making, they have to do with public insult based on gender and cyber harassment based on gender. That is not a really high bar to clear. All that she and actually the prosecutors who are now doing the investigation have to show is that anyone in France made accusations that resulted in her deterioration of life that were based on her gender and that were harassing. So that bar is not that high. I believe within the boundaries of France, she has a strong case to have France prosecute. And in fact, they have. France, in many ways, has been a leader of sorts in prosecuting cyberbullying.
Angela, Variety is also reporting former President Trump could get caught up in this investigation because of something he posted about her online. What does this actually look like, practically speaking, though, because this is happening in France? None of these people live in France. Could they actually face real consequences?
Vicky, that's exactly right. The fact that they do not live in France would make it extremely difficult. Donald Trump is not going to be standing trial in France for this, and that is because the United States would then have to agree to extradite an American citizen, not even because he's Donald Trump or not, but any American citizen to France. And in the U.S., look, our freedom of speech protections are very strong. They're different than France.
And it will be the exact same for the likes of Elon Musk, and it will be the exact same for the likes of J.K. Rowling. So unfortunately, even though these things were said, the whole situation wouldn't necessarily mean that there could be any kind of conviction off the back of it. Not that, I don't know whether she would be seeking convictions or whether she would be seeking damages or of reputation or defamation or something like this. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of the lawsuit. I have tried to find the documents online. I've not been able to find them, but if I do, I will be sure to share them. But what do you guys think on this entire situation? Do you think Imane Khalif has a leg to stand on with this, or do you think that it might just be a lot of noise with not a lot of payout? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Tickle my little bell, and yeah, I'll Have I told you to drop I can't remember. Drop a like as well while you're down. Just do all that stuff. All the YouTube stuff. You know what it is. And until next time, guys, I hope you have enjoyed. Cannot wait to see you in the next one. And I'll speak to you later. Peace.